In this episode of Dolce Vita, experience the thrill of the auction from a new perspective. Share the exciting journey of mastering traditional tailoring techniques. Tantalize your taste buds with the most prized beef in the world. And appreciate unique designer furniture handcrafted by artisans.
When we hear the word auction, many of us automatically think of a room full of people raising paddles and an auctioneer working the hammer. But auctions can actually come in many shapes and formats. I think what draws people to auctions is the whole experience. To actually get the item you want, you have to go through a process and eventually win it. And that kind of excitement and satisfaction is unlike any other buying experience. Uni, tell us why the auction format is so important.
Our auction house is a global auction house that has a lot of different types of key locations around the world. And because of this, we have a strong connection with our collectors as well as consigners around the world. And our specialists who are very knowledgeable in each of their respective fields always do quality checks on the items that we always have to curate and also consign. And this helps us to be able to deliver very unique items to the people that are looking for these special pieces.
Why do you think people are so drawn to auction?
I personally think that it's because it's the draw that you have when you see a very unique and special item in auction. When we often have pieces that are historical or have some important value in terms of provenance, and people love to be a part of that auction process. They love to be a part of the history of that moment, to be able to bid, to participate, and I think that's what's truly exciting.
Now, the top auction houses, of course, have been around a long time, but we live in a world of e-commerce. What do you guys do to keep relevant?
Right, so we have done quite a lot of different type of advancements in the last few years. We have pushed forward a lot in terms of online auctions. In the past few years, we've seen a lot of growth in terms of people who are below 40 years old. We've seen more than double in terms of their engagements when it comes to online sales. And we have been creating a lot of different types of online luxury auctions, including many cross-category sectors such as not only jewelry, but watches, sneakers, handbags, because often we find that our collectors are looking for something that's not often of one category. They're looking for everything else holistically together. So when we do these type of luxury edit curations, we see a lot of interest that builds up from this type of format. So we have started to create a few specific auctions that often accept cryptocurrency as a type of payment. And we have also done some curations based on NFTs as well. And these type of NFT and cryptocurrency auctions are something that's new to us, but also something that has been gaining traction in the last 2 years.
With an advancement in technology, there are a myriad of ways for someone to partake in an auction these days. For someone who's new to the auction game, online bidding might be a good place to start. But sometimes you really have to go in person to look and get a feel for the items, because that can often be the most pleasurable part of the whole experience. Tell us about the jewelry pieces in this auction. Are there any that you want to highlight?
We have two very special pieces in our auction this time. And the first one that I would like to talk about is a very beautiful 19th century European tiara. It is most likely from the late 19th century. It is also convertible as a necklace, which is quite specific of the time. They used to want to be able to wear tiaras in a slightly more casual way as well. So the diamonds are very beautifully set. They are old cut, old European, old mine diamonds. And the craftsmanship is very beautiful as well. We have seen an increase in interest in terms of these type of antique tiaras recently in the last 5 years. So these type of categories is something that our collectors are really looking forward to. And also the next one that we also want to highlight is a very beautiful jadeite bangle. What's so special about this one in specific is that the color of the jadeite is so highly saturated. It has this deep green color together with a very good thickness and also a good size of the bangle. The size of the bangle is usually bigger than that of similar caliber jadeite pieces, and we think this is very rare and also very collectible.
I know this auction also has a 100 plus carat diamond. When we hear numbers like this, it catches people's attention. Tell us about that.
Definitely. So this is a very exciting auction for us. The diamond is a 101.38 carat and is named the Key. And it's a fantastic auction. I think it's something that will gather a lot of attention from people because we only had a similar diamond that is of this quality. Only one other has existed in 2013 that was offered, which is also a D-color, flawless, and pear-shaped diamond over 100 carats. So we're excited to be able to offer something like this time as well.
There are so many things that you can buy at auction these days, from high-end jewelry pieces, to watches, to wines and spirits, and even sneakers. Finding something that suits your taste and budget is only part of it. The entire process of viewing, researching, bidding, and then winning, or losing and learning from it, is what makes auctions so enjoyable.
I believe all items of clothing should be well fitted, and this especially applies to suits. I love wearing suits, and my choice of style is either the British cut or the Italian slim fit cut, paired with flat-fronted trousers tapering towards the ankle. If you're anything like me, come and visit my friend and discover the beauty of the bespoke suit. Hi Roshan.
How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Great to have you back here.
Thank you. So, can you tell us, how did you start up the tailoring business?
So this is my 22nd year on the job, but I pretty much grew up in the business. My grandfather, I'm told, started in 1957, and soon after that, my father and my uncle joined him, and we've been going 63 years strong.
You've been in this industry for quite a long time now, since you were quite young. Do you have any memories or moments that really stand out for you?
I think, we're very blessed in the sense that we've worked with a lot of big-name celebrities, whether they be movie stars, politicians, or athletes. But honestly speaking, to me, every experience with every client is something unique and amazing because I truly am bringing, I wouldn't say their dreams, but their vision to life. And everybody at the end of the process is super happy. And in the build-up, during the process, is very excited. So working with every client is not a repetitive, but a very exciting experience.
So can you tell us what the main differences are between a bespoke suit and one that you'd buy off the rack, perhaps?
Customization. Many people would tell you fit, but everyone's preference on fit and everyone's interpretation of fit can be different. But customization is definitely what differentiates us from buying off the rack.
So can you tell us a bit about the process, about how one can get a suit made?
Our goal is to bring our clients' vision to life, whether they have one or not. So that's probably my favorite part about the business, delving into the client and bringing out what their hidden desires for their new suit. What is the process about? Well, you come here, you tell us what the need is. What do you need your suit for? What's coming up? What are you going to use your suit for? How often do you use your suit? We ask a bunch of questions. They're pretty simple questions, but we want to basically create a framework of who you are.
How about for those who don't really know what they want? Do you have any advice for someone who walks in on how to get a suit really well fitted?
Well, I think one has to look at the contours of their body and think to themselves, how much are they willing to align the suit to the contours of their body without imposing upon their comfortability. And that's what will give you a great fitting suit. One that really wraps you, hugs you, shows off who you are, not hides you, because you can't hide anything in life, but still allows you to move, sit, and act comfortably. That's the key to the best fitting suit.
So how would you go about convincing someone who's on the fence about getting a tailor-made suit?
Don't. There's so many options out there. Go and look. Go and look. Go and try stuff on. There is so much out there nowadays.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome.
Beautiful suits are a fine luxury in life that everybody deserves, whether it be worn for that special occasion or as a daily necessity. Bespoke suits allow you to customize all aspects from material to cut, even down to the finer details, addressing your individual needs and, more importantly, your personality. Don't you agree?
After the break, enjoy dishes that can't be missed for meat lovers. Learn about sustainable furniture and celebrate the craftsmanship of artisans from Southeast Asia.
Well, the Tokyo Olympics is just around the corner. Hear about all this Japanese news, the game promotions, just makes me really want to go to Japan.
Well, unfortunately, I think travel is still a bit of a ways off. But speaking of Japan, let me ask you what your favorite Japanese food is. I have to say, apart from natto, which I've grown to like, there's not a single Japanese food that I don't like. What about you?
My all-time favorite would be Wagyu beef. It's so good no matter how you cook it. I love the perfectly marbled texture. When you put it in your mouth, it just has this delicate and silky texture that keeps you wanting more.
Well, we're in the right place today because we're about to have a Wagyu feast.
Japanese Wagyu is known for its buttery texture, subtle umami flavor, and unequaled tenderness. Its unique sweet aroma and melt-in-your-mouth texture is irresistible to many. While there are many ways to enjoy Wagyu beef, grilling is the most popular choice among diners, as the smoky taste is the perfect complement to the scrumptious meat. Here, the grilled Wagyu tataki is charred on the outside, but still rare and juicy on the inside. What an excellent start to this Wagyu extravaganza! Spring rolls are always a crowd pleaser. Savory spring rolls filled with succulent minced Wagyu is probably something you don't get to try very often. Every bite of the delicious spring roll is an explosion of flavor and juices. So yummy! This Wagyu tartare is beautifully presented with a glossy egg yolk sitting atop the creamy rough-cut steak. The egg yolk bolsters the marinade for sweet and creamy mouthfeel, while the balanced spice mix helps to eliminate any unpleasant raw flavors. This also elevates the umami of the beef. Simply savory. Sukiyaki and shabu shabu are unmissable when it comes to beef-based Japanese dishes. Although they both use the same ingredients, thinly sliced beef and vegetables, the results are entirely different. Sukiyaki is a type of traditional Japanese hot pot dish that is loved by many. The succulent and aromatic Wagyu beef slices are simmered in a delicious sweet savory mixture of soy sauce, sugar, and mirin. Some people may resist the idea of eating raw eggs, but drenching the meat in a bowl of raw beaten eggs before eating takes your taste buds to the next level. Apart from sukiyaki, shabu shabu is another popular hot pot dish among Japanese diners. There are many different types of broth, but for traditional shabu shabu like this one here, the broth is made from kombu seaweed. Dip the thinly sliced Wagyu in the pot of seasoned broth and lightly swish the meat from side to side. Lastly, enjoy the Wagyu with dipping sauces to your liking. The flavor is something you won't forget.
We got to try two very traditional Japanese dishes today. Which one do you prefer, Joyce? Sukiyaki or the shabu shabu?
Definitely sukiyaki. I love cooking that melt-in-your-mouth Wagyu beef and that subtly sweet yet rich and flavorful sukiyaki sauce, paired with that Japanese runny egg yolk. It's perfection.
You know, usually I like sukiyaki more as well, but lately I've been trying to eat more healthy because I haven't been able to exercise, and there's nothing healthier than shabu shabu. Plus, I think shabu shabu really tests a restaurant's quality because there's nothing you can hide. It's really dependent on the ingredients because of the simplicity of the dish.
Japan is a heaven of sweets and pastries. Among all the pastries and desserts, roll cake and ice cream are probably the most popular. The fluffy sponge cake is filled with fresh melon cream, and paired with red bean ice cream, this dessert is undoubtedly a fulfilling sweet ending to the meal. There's no doubt that furniture plays a fundamental role in home decor. From things like tables, chairs, and couches, we all have these items in our homes. But with society constantly evolving, sustainability is becoming a more important topic in our conversations and in the industry. Using this concept, let's talk to a friend of mine to see how she uses it to create her own handcrafted furniture. Born in the Philippines and raised in the States, Christine Lampard gets her inspiration from her traveling experiences around Asia and East Africa. As an interior designer and NGO expert, she is devoted to raising awareness about sustainability. Hi Christine, so your furniture is made from natural and authentic materials. What inspired you to create the sustainable furniture?
So our name itself means pure, sincere, or genuine, and this is something that's really reflected in our designs and the materials as well as the craftsmanship of all of our pieces. We work with real, natural materials with a big emphasis on solid wood. So when you see something in our shop that looks like wood, you can trust that it's really wood, not laminate, not veneer, and this means that our pieces can have a longer life cycle. So with real wood, you can repair them, you can use them again and again, either in the current design or in a new form.
And what inspired you to create this collection?
So my inspiration came really from my background in working with nonprofits and in the social enterprise sector. I used to do a lot of travel around East Africa and now in Asia. And along the way, I would collect a lot of pieces from different makers and markets and bring back here to my home in Hong Kong. So I wanted to create a collection that had that same feel. So every piece in our collection has a story to tell. It's not just a beautiful, unique piece of designer furniture, which of course it is, but also there's a story behind it, the materials, the craftsmanship.
Oh, well, that sounds very meaningful. And what's the message that you wish to bring out when someone sees your furniture?
We really want people to feel that not only is this a beautiful piece of furniture to have in your home, but also it's something that's very authentic, very genuine. So all of our pieces come with a custom nameplate when you purchase it that tells you the exact number in the batch that it was made. So for example, if you purchase our sofa 01, it will say sofa 01 number 1 or number 2 or number 3, and this will never be number 1000, 2000, because all of our pieces are made in small batches, so everything is very special.
Now, what do you think of Hong Kong as a whole, as a market? Do you think that Hong Kong people are open to, this type of concept of furniture?
Definitely. I think that people in Hong Kong are looking for things that are unique and special, and that's something that we can offer, not only through the usual purchase of the items, but also through something that we call flexible ownership plans. So this is a way for people to try the pieces before they buy them, and also makes the designer furniture more accessible.
Well, that sounds really fun. You can always have, different pieces in your home, and once you get bored, you can change it up, right?
Exactly, and it's a perfect option for people who will also be in Hong Kong for a short period of time. So rather than filling an apartment with a bunch of cheap furniture that you'll only use for a year or two, now you can have really special pieces.
Now let's talk about your two favorite pieces. Which ones are they and why?
One of my favorite pieces is a chair that's made entirely with natural pandan leaves. So it's quite a long process just from harvesting the material and preparing it before they even start to manufacture the chair. First, they need to grow the pandan leaves, then they need to harvest, strip, dry, and boil it, and then prepare it for the actual weaving. The Philippines has a long history of weaving, and usually this type of leaf is used for weaving floors, mats, but it's given a new life in our design.
Well, that sounds really unique. And what's your other piece?
The other piece that I love is a table that's made entirely with solid mango wood. What's special about this is that no piece is going to be exactly the same because our makers select the tabletop specifically for each table. So while the dimensions are listed on our website, every piece is really going to be different because it's cut specifically around that specific type of wood.
It fascinated me to learn more about the more significant meanings behind our everyday essentials. I think that now when I look at furniture, I'll be more mindful about buying it and about certain materials. Besides being responsible, it's also important to spread the message about being more sustainable so that we can all be a part of creating a more eco-friendly world. That's all the time we have for this week's episode. If you enjoyed what we've introduced and want to find out more, simply check out our program website. In the coming weeks, sit back and take pleasure in gourmet food from around the world. Explore ways to look gorgeous. Keep up with the latest trends and connect with inspiring people from different backgrounds. Be sure to tune in again next time.